A little nicer morning this morning. 35 degrees and that sunrise coming out. The sun is kind of dead center of the screen. That's the bright spot part in the trees. Yeah, looks a little better in person shining off the house. But yeah, it's there. Let's see how much it changes as we walk down here, because the buildings get out of the way. Then the trees get in the way. I'm not sure who's burning what. I'm assuming it's our neighbor the other side of the trailer. But I noticed last night, you know, there's nothing like the smell of a good wood burning fire. And pretty obvious he's got some cedar mixed up in there, because it just smells good, you know. I mean, fir smells good to begin with, but cedar, yeah, not only smells good, but it gets really hot. So you can't have too much. I mean, it's mixed, I can tell that. Not that I'm a smoke connoisseur, but God knows I've smelled enough smoke in my lifetime. Burning houses don't smell so good though. Too much plastic and shit. And there wasn't anything down here earlier. Probably isn't now. But it's about that time of day to go ahead and get them fed. Check them again, and it seems like I find new ones when I go to feed. And it doesn't look like it this morning. What? Yeah, your kid's the loud one out there. In fact, you moose, he gets up. Huh. Funny how that works. Oh, and a dog must think there's a rat over there. I can vouch for what Tyler and Becky have both said they've seen. Ty says she's sure we have 2 weasels around here now. And yesterday, yes, you still need to have your calf. Ty was letting the cows in the feed barn, and I went back that way just to go around to the trailer. Actually, no, I was back there to see if there was any rats to shoot. And where the bell wagon is back there, I watched a smaller weasel than the one that we had in the trap ran across the lane over toward the excavator. So that's pretty cool. We're assuming we have probably a mating pair, since what Becky been able to find out about them before was March is when they mate. Just thought I'd throw that tidbit out there. Kind of cool. And where do y'all think it is? Whiskey's standing here. I think it's in the bike again. Haven't found one in there, but they think it's in the bike. I've no doubt it's probably in there chewing the frickin' wires off. So much for that beautiful sunrise, eh? And it just said on the radio a little bit ago it's supposed to be overcast all day. This thing. Get it out of here, and hopefully today get the John Deere in here, because I really don't want to change that heater out there. A whole lot easier in here. I then took all these off, cleaned them up. Yeah, I know, rattly. The problem is, I gotta figure out, this one isn't too bad. It goes back together okay. I think we're gonna put a bolt through here, but the issue with that is it is right at the end of that tube. The tube's just right there, so not sure how that's gonna work. May end up drilling a hole through the tube. But I got this one here. I'll spin you around. Yeah, she should clean her shit up yet. That's tight. Won't go any tighter there. Fits like a saddle on a sow. So does that one. So I'm going to guess that she didn't keep them in the pairs that they were when they came off. Because that one, the corner doesn't line up. You got to really work it to get it to kind of line up. And if you start to tighten the bolts, it just pulls it out of line. So the right rear one, it lines up really nice. That's about the best one. But none of them were made to fit. I should take one off and show you, but where the head is, where the diameter is of that recess, that's a flat inside. It's 1.25 inch OD tube and 1.5 inch ID cover. They could have done that a little better, in my personal opinion. I mean, for God's sakes, get it tight, make it right. Because, I mean, I guess inside, probably the other end of this tube is open. I don't know. Yeah, because it's right there full of shit. So, I mean, at least all the shit that goes in here and gets into this tube can get out. In the meantime, you know, being it's right here, literally, it's the end of it, open. All the shit from down here gets in there, plugs it up. I don't know how that works where guys run these things in the mud up past the seat and just keep going and pack them full. And then what happens when it freezes? Like a lot of things, I imagine those tubes just split wide open because they can't really drain out that well. Sitting here level and this corner is still a low spot. It's going to hang in there. Oh well. Just little things that I think about because I see shit freeze and get screwed up. Even the uprights on our bale loader. Even though we had drain holes drilled. One of the uprights, it got slightly pregnant one winter. You know, all you can do is take a sledgehammer and beat it back together. That's all heavy stuff. It's got a little wrinkle in it from beating it back together, but it's not near as pregnant. And we opened up the drain holes so it drained better. You know, lessons learned. That one went pretty good. Those tubes are thinner than shit, but they're also hard. Pain in the ass to get drilled through. This one didn't go so good. It fell down. If I can get it out of here without killing myself. It's a wee bit shorter than it was before. It's be about there. It's still in here somewhere. I overcame it, got around it, got it in. So on the front, I'm being a little better. One thing I got to do though is I'm going to see if I can straighten this up. This on both sides seems to be in the right place. This seems to be rocked back. But rather than trying to drill it after it's on there, I drilled the clamshells beforehand. And there we go. Set it on here and mark the hole, and I'm hoping the hole's close enough. This one I'm wondering about because I came out the top, but yeah, fun. Yeah. The word "see you next Tuesday" come to mind. And I ended up drilling out the top of that one. That's a handy tool. Oh, hey Matt, the Scrap Whisperer. That's a Warrior wheel. That's been on there for quite a while. Not that I use that one much, but I've had pretty good luck with them. I ended up slotting it down, and then I was off a little. This side I couldn't get it together, because this bolt was like this. I could get this one through, but I couldn't get the other one through because I couldn't get it down where it needed to be. So moved the slot. That's as good as it's going to be. And good old-fashioned tire iron was skinny enough to sneak in there and hook here. And I got these pulled out where they belong. I thought I might have gotten it off up and down on this one, but Once I figured it out, everything lined up right. So that part's done. And when Ty was in here earlier, fired it up, made sure it had oil pressure. It's kind of nice. I mean, little bugger's got an idiot light. And she's busy spraying some fly stuff around, using that fly ban that we used on the cows. It ain't gonna do any good for the freaking lice, so we got more brood coming. I don't know, I mean, fly ban's been around forever. We haven't used it much in the last probably 10 years, and go to using it, don't work. I mean, you know, we tried it in the back rivers all summer, well, part of the summer, and ended up going back to root because the flies would literally fly off their backs as they walked under it and land right back on them. Put the root back in there and they'd walk under it, and most of them didn't want nothing to do with the cow after that. So anyway, it's been a long morning. I'm gonna get some lunch. You know, you got those days you should just leave well enough alone. Yeah, it's all back together, and the winch switch was taped up here with some wire and a plug-in. This is the brake light wire, micro switch off the hand lever over there. So, you know, I'm thinking, yeah, when they put the winch on and ran the wires through, they must have messed up. And I gotta say, I mean, this isn't too bad of a design here, but to get this off, you gotta take this off. And I literally just remounted the switch. That's where it belongs. And I'm not taking all that apart again because it's a pain in the ass. You gotta pull this tube off to get this off. But it, you know, gets out of the way. And I'm thinking, okay, everything's sandwiched, right? Because all there is 4 screws from this piece into this piece. Oh, hell no. Down in there, I think it's about here, there's a tab and a screw in from the front. And you cannot get to that without taking all this off. Anyway, I found 2 wires. Black and a red. Doesn't have a bullet connector on it, but it's like, well, okay. It looked like it was something that would swing open and maybe these would go in and it would clamp them in so they couldn't come out. I've seen stuff like that before. But, you know, before trying that and seeing what's going to happen, smart guy puts a jump wire in. I checked both of them. The one did not go to ground, or at least it didn't appear to. The other had power. And now, we got nothing. So far, the only fuse I have found, it actually has one of them little spadey fuses right there, 30 amp. Kind of thinking, okay, yeah, use that for a main fuse. Well, it's fine. I haven't checked power back here yet, but there ain't none up here. So I'm assuming maybe underneath this piece, maybe there's another fuse. Gonna do me a little Googling tonight and find out. So yeah, I wanted it out of here today, you know, on a warm day. We made it to like 50 degrees. A little easier to fire up that John Deere without the heater. And I wanted to get the John Deere at least in here. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. And I'm done. That's all I can say about this. I'm just done for the night. So, you guys are usually about watching the video here in a few minutes. I'm gonna get it thrown together and put it up, and then start Googling. All the wires, I mean, everything is right here. Comes in, there's a plastic shield around the plastic fuel tank, wedges through there, lays underneath here, comes here, and that's as far as I can reach. And of course, these side panels just pop in up here, 3 spots. That was missing the rubber, so I stole one off the old red bike because it it doesn't have the side piece that goes back here to cover the kickstart anyway. But it's got these things, them little push-in deals. It's on a tab at the end of this behind the fender, and they don't come out real easy. But I may have to do that. And then, say, probably pull that off, I guess. I don't know. Since all the wiring's behind that. Yay me. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. See how wonderful my late afternoon went. I should have just left well enough alone. Should have just tucked these suckers in there and left it alone. But no. It's made to have a brake light. There's actually 3 wires to the light on the back, so it's made for a brake light. I just don't know where the hell the wires are for it. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all have a great weekend.